Good evening and welcome to Drakkenheim. This is the Dungeon Dudes weekly Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition live stream campaign. My name is Monty Martin, running the campaign as Dungeon Master.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, playing Jerry Riggs, the artillerist artificer goblin. And we are joined today by our good friends.
Still Donitis, playing Del Talamar, the Shadar Kai elf shadow monk.
And Joe O'Gorman playing the Boogeyman, the Bugbear Rogue.
Thank you for joining us once again. If you are just tuning in for the very first time, welcome. We are the Dungeon Dudes. We post new videos every Thursday on our YouTube channel where Kelly and I cover everything Dungeons & Dragons, including advice for players and guides for Dungeon Masters. You can check us out at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
You can also watch the campaign live on Twitch when we record live on Tuesday nights from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. You can find that at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. And you can find all of the previous episodes of this show, as well as all of the other Drakkenheim shows, on our YouTube channel as well.
Of course, don't forget to look at the links below for our Teespring store, where you can find all of your favorite Dungeon Dudes merch, including t-shirts like Troll Killer, Yes, 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 and all of the new Shadows of Drakkenheim ones as well. Check out bit.ly/Dungeon Dudes merch.
Now, for those of you that are just tuning in and wondering what is going on, these are the Untold Tales of Drakkenheim. In light of the current global situation, we are playing remotely and online. And so, because this is a new endeavor for our group, we have never played as a group together online Dungeons & Dragons. And there's a lot of technical issues associated with both doing that and streaming it at the same time. So the Untold Tales of Drakkenheim are a way of us continuing to play D&D together while not kind of worrying about messing up the technical and energy integrity of Shadows of Drakkenheim. So we put Shadows of Drakkenheim on a bit of a hiatus until such a time that we can either play in person together again, or we are confident that we can stream online with the full quality and that we would expect from our regular in-person games. This is also a wonderful opportunity for us to return to the city of Drakkenheim and explore the many, many sites and locations that were not explored in the first season of the campaign, and catch a cool insider view from the various factions of Drakkenheim. And tonight we continue the adventures of a crack team of Queen's Men assassins and burglars as they invade the fortress monastery stronghold of the followers of the Falling Fire. If you are worried about spoilers from the first season of Dungeons of Drakkenheim, the events of this episode occur simultaneously to the events of around episode 35 and 36 of the Dungeons of Drakkenheim main series. However, you may be able to still enjoy this without too many giant spoilers, but you should be aware that if you are planning on going back and watching the original campaign, there are some spoilers and there are some plot reveals that might be surprising to you if you haven't watched the full main series, particularly if you haven't watched past episode 36 yet. So with that spoiler warning out of the way, I think we are all ready to dive right in. With one last point aside, is that we do value your feedback very, very greatly. We are looking for ways to improve the quality of our online stream. So if you have any feedback for us about things that we can improve or change, we are working on trying to get our good friends at Tabletop Audio back reintegrated into this. And we have been trying out some virtual tabletops so we can get a battle cam of some kind, but we haven't fully got something that we're happy with yet for those things. So we have heard the feedback on getting those two things on. They're on their way as soon as we find something that we're happy with. We haven't quite found something perfect yet. So if you have any ideas or suggestions of how we might integrate it into the whole thing, please let us know. With that, let us return to the Untold Tales of Drakkenheim with our new adventure, Rooked, featuring the Queen's Men. Are you all ready?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Returning to the city of Drakkenheim in the midst of a great conflict, as the heroes of Drakkenforce, the Amethyst Academy, the Silver Order, the Hooded Lanterns, and the leaders of the Falling Fire and the Queen's Men confer in the midst of the great cathedral of St. Vitruvio at the heart of the city of Drakkenheim. Dark deeds are underway at the fortress monastery St. Selena's Abbey in the south ward of Drakkenheim. This great, once a monastery, once an abbey, once a fortress, once a prison, and once an insane asylum. This 8-towered octagonal fortress stands the banks of the Dran River, now the reclaimed stronghold of the followers of the Falling Fire. 3 members of the Queen's Men have been dispatched by the enigmatic and mysterious Queen of Thieves to take down the Castellan, allegedly the former Castellan of the Small Council of Drakkenheim, killing him in revenge for some unknown slight against the Queen of Thieves, and bringing back the amulet as proof of the deed. When last we left our anti-heroes, if that perhaps even too generous of a title, they had snuck their way in through the sewers into the fortress monastery. Coming up through a cistern under the Castellan's towers, they ruthlessly murdered several monks, hid their bodies, and trapped the armory, in the midst of which also poisoning the well, causing a large number of the followers of the Falling Fire dwelling in the courtyard to fall into a sleep-like stupor. Now our miscreants find themselves in somewhat control of the Castellan's tower as they plot their next move. They seem to have determined that the Castellan is now in a part of the fortress called the Cells, and I will show us our map here. The cells being this area at the south end of the map. For reference, for those of you following along at home, the map is reversed. So north is south and south is north. The south end of the building, this construction along the walls, are a part of the building known as the cells. They have intermittently been jail cells, monastery cells, and insane asylum cells, and barracks cells. So these multi-purpose individual rooms have lived many various lives, and allegedly the Castellan is in this building taking his supper. Question is, our heroes are in the Castellan's tower, the largest tower on the northwestern side of the building here. How will they get from this tower to the barracks cells?
So, guys, what do we got for a plan here?
Well, we do know that everyone is sleeping in the courtyard.
It seems like an ideal time for us to throw on a few robes and just, walk across.
Yes, but to where? Right to the barracks or the cells?
Well, that's where we're headed, right? We just got to kill the Castellan and steal his amulet. If he's taking his supper there, I say we walk in and fireball the whole place. Blow them all up. And take the amulet, walk out. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, get the Castellan, get the amulet, get out. That's our job.
I mean, right now we took care of the bell upstairs. We took care of this tower. He's not here. Apparently he's taking his supper. Maybe we should go scope it out. But I mean, well, all these people are fast asleep. I don't see why we wouldn't just walk right through them.
Well, no, they're not the only ones we need to worry about. There's still guards all around the top. And
That's
I
why we
worry that
just,
if we're not too careful, they might be suspicious of those walking by the sleeping rest of the crew.
You remember those guys that we just fought? The ones that, I froze one of their heads. It shattered. It was pretty cool. You guys thought it was pretty cool, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Like-
so...
those cool rigs.
Cold? Cold? I don't
Yes.
understand your simple language.
I mean, both of them really apply. I did freeze his head, so yeah, it was pretty cold. Good
Alright.
job, Dal. You're on top of things today.
Actually, that works on
So if-
many levels because it was cold-blooded murder. It was pretty cool and he was physically cold.
All of the above. So yeah, Dal, whatever you're taking away from this conversation, go with it. Just run with it. I believe
Alright.
in you.
So if it's chilled murder, cool is the word. Okay.
Yeah.
I will add that to my vocabulary of the simple common folk.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to let that slide for now. We're on the job. Maybe afterwards, you and I should have a talk about what constitutes common folk. All right.
Is this worth discussing right now? We're inside the facility. We know where the Castellan is. We got to go get him.
Indeed.
Why don't we just
time-
throw on some of those robes?
Indeed, time is ticking. It's because, as you'll remember, you can see, for those of you following along at home, you can see we've got our time clock right up over on the side here. And this time tracker, you've used 3 hours. In 5 hours, Lucretia Matthias will return from the Cathedral of St. Vitruvio back to the Abbey.
I'm still disguised as a halfling from last game, so I'm going to keep my disguise. But if you two throw in a couple robes, Boogeyman, do you have anything to maybe cover up that fur? Maybe make yourself look a little more boring?
I think I have an idea. And I turn around, and you see me like fumbling with one of the dead priests, and I turn around to reveal a crude mask made of their face. And I have it haphazardly thrown onto my body, onto my face. Doesn't quite fit the same due to size issues, medium to large, etc. But Boogeyman exclaims, "I have a disguise."
Man, I can't even tell that it's you other than the fur sticking out of the eye holes and around the outside. Maybe we just need to touch it. You're also dripping blood onto your shirt there.
Oh. And I put the hood over top, and I wear the cloak, and I kind of like crouch down a little bit to kind of like hide my big.
Are you
giant
proficient in a disguise kit?
Oh yeah.
So it's
Oh wait, I have it as a tool, but I don't know. I don't have any proficiency in it. This is why.
okay.
My disguise kit is like it's a lot of like bandages and
And a big knife.
and a scalpel.
Okay. Gruesome and disgusting, but effective in a pinch. So, you have gathered up the robes from the monks that you murdered in cold blood, donned them, and are going to make your way across the courtyard past the sleeping followers of the Falling Fire, who you poisoned.
Yeah.
Towards the barracks.
Yeah, we're going to head over to the barracks.
Okay. And before we before you move forward, how are you on resources? Are you all feeling prim and rejuvenated, or do you need to take a rest or recuperate before you move forward?
I mean, I'm bleeding a little. I got some wounds and stuff, but I mean, there's nothing that a little dirt in it won't help. I mean, won't cure.
I am a little tired, but I think before we can take a rest, we need to get eyes on our target. Maybe in the meantime, we can use some of this ointment. And I pull out the I can't remember.
Blackjack Mel's
It's
family
Blackjack
recipe.
Mel's.
Blackjack Mel's.
Blackjack Mel's recipe. And I use 3 on one of each of us.
Okay.
How much does that do?
18 hit
Oh.
points for each of you.
Oh, nice. I feel red as rain.
You can probably forego. I didn't take too much damage if you guys need it, or if you want to save a dose.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, Boogeyman, just walking around not getting hurt,
Alrighty. So, with that, you leave the Castellan's tower and proceed to the camp?
Yeah.
Well, before we go, if somebody stops us, what should we say is our business over there?
We're on our way to take us supper.
Does everyone take supper over there?
Well, I don't know. We'll find out. You worry too much, Del. Things have a way of working out. People don't know that we're infiltrating them, so they'll assume that we're telling the truth. Why would they think they had intruders, you know?
True, but
Unless they find the bodies in the basement, in which case we'll act as surprised as everybody else.
Riggs, don't be too confident. Del's right. We should have a story that we can stick to.
does anybody have any food on them? Any rations?
I grabbed the meager meal from the table,
We
covered in
should say
blood.
we're bringing it over to them
Just kind
as
of like,
extras and meals and offerings for the rest of maybe the Castellan. Is there any bread around or anything like that?
Yeah, there is a bit of bread, some wine, and some dried fruits, nuts, and cured meats.
I take the wine and I start to carry it after I put my robe on.
Also, I just realized that I'm a tiny little halfling in a cloak, but I still have this, like, do I still have my big gun, or is that part of disguise self that it hides my weapon?
I think that you can hide it either
Like,
under
can
the
I just-
cloaks or as part of the disguise. Sure,
All right.
sure.
So before we head out, though, I do open up the back of my gun and I pull out some delirium crystals and load them into the back of my cannon and seal it off. And I'm like, just making sure we're good to go in case of a problem.
Alrighty, and because it is relevant, Joe, you are an assassin rogue, so you actually are proficient with the disguise kit.
I am blowing my own mind right now. So it's actually really good. It's a really good disguise.
Like
I
the
nail
whole
it on
thing
the eye
is all
holes.
together. Yeah, it all works, right? The hair going through the eye hole, the eye holes as you pull your face forward, kind of looks like this big bushy eyebrows. or
Kind of blend it in. I have some makeup. Just kind of fix the edges.
Great.
You look beautiful, both of you.
Yeah, the hair at the bottom looks more like a chin strap beard.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
You ever seen a beholder? There's no beauty there.
There's much beauty in the world of monsters and fiends. You just need to look a little bit closer.
All right, creepy.
You proceed into the courtyard, out the Castellan's doors. Massed before you is the modest chapel of St. Selena. It is a tall, steepled building with two semicircular protrusions coming out the side of the longer building and a curved back, and then a pair of steepled towers that reach up over the walls. There's a set of double doors on either side of the building that lead into the chapel proper. And the distinguishing feature is that the tall windows of the chapel all have steel bars over the stained glass on the outside. So there's grates of bars covering over the chapel windows. Several of them have been smashed. And as you look out onto the courtyard, you can see that the barracks, the cell buildings, are of similar construction. There's one set of doors in the center of the building, and all the windows are about 8 feet off the ground level. The floors themselves are offset. It is a 3-floor building, and the exterior is made of stone and timbered wood covered in wattle and daub with a shingled roof that reaches up level with the battlements of the outer walls of the fortress. The windows that spread across these buildings, well, not all of them have their glass still intact. All of them externally have these sets of wrought iron and steel bars over tops of the windows, such that the steel grates of the cells don't impair the view, but would still prevent someone from climbing in. Or in this case, with the way that they're constructed, they're equally built to prevent someone from climbing in as climbing out. So there's the
Well,
three
that's
levels
not a way in.
of the windows. You can see that there are glowing lights from within both the chapel and the building. Right in front of you is a large campsite surrounding the chapel itself. The mud traces across the whole ground, wet and slick, in patches of dirt and this dying gray grass. Throughout the campsite is arranged such that there's what looks like a pulpit in front of the chapel itself, and there are long tables all about, tables where people could gather, and several bonfires that are all lit. The tents that are arranged all through the courtyard all are filled. You can see some of them are open and have sleeping bags in them, and there are about 40 people through rough count in the courtyard. All of them are asleep at several of the tables, which seem to be laid out for dining. Several of them have fallen asleep where they stand, and others have fallen asleep in the tents. You can see the buckets that were gathered earlier stacked up beside several large soup cauldrons, and all of the people around have these bowls of this pottage stew, and several of them have dropped their spoons or have passed out with their faces in the stew. So it seems like what happened was someone collected all this water to make a stew, and the stew was then distributed to everybody.
Oops.
All part of the plan.
Everything's going perfect.
The smell of the stew still hangs in the air. This pungent aroma of onions, turnip, cabbage, and it's very difficult to place that meat. It's really difficult to place that meat. Yeah, you smell it deeply.
No.
Yeah, is it pork? Is it chicken? Is it beef? Nobody knows.
I wouldn't go taste testing that right now. It seems to be a little tiring.
Maybe we should bring some of that.
I think as a goblin, it smells a cut above goblin cooking.
Yeah, still not going to eat it.
Maybe collect some of this and bring it with the wine.
All right. And I go over and I grab one of the bowls, maybe like taking someone's head out of their bowl and like grabbing that one and saying, will he eat this?
You ask like I'm going to know that. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like stew. Maybe that's why he goes and has a private dinner.
It's a wooden bowl with a wooden spoon, and there is a satchel of hard bread. The bread is so hard that in order to chew it, you need to soak it in the stew first to loosen it up so that you can eat it.
Yum.
All right. I'll bring the stew and the wine.
Oh, we should just poison the wine.
Yes, we should. Yeah, I put one of my poisons in the wine.
Okay.
But like subtly, just in case I'm like looking around, seeing if there's any guards. I'm just like, whoops.
You can see that there are people on the walls. And as you pass through the campsite, all of you can roll a d6, please.
1.
6.
1.
2 1s and a 6.
What a
I had
ride.
something special for this.
This happened last time too.
Okay.
Everything was going so well.
The doors to the barracks burst open as you are collecting the stew. Through the barracks come a fiery-haired woman in the robes of the falling fire, with scraps of leather armor strapped to her shoulders and arms and bits of chainmail. Beside her, she is carrying a great axe in one hand, and she very plainly has tattooed on her face the symbol of the falling fire, and the glowing shard of delirium is born on her chest. Beside her walks a priestly man with balding hair and the robes of the falling fire, carrying a symbol in his hands. Between them are several other members of the falling fire in their penitent robes. And in the midst of the group, there is you can hear the sound of a chain. For leading at the front of the group on this dangling chain is a massive white lion with the face of a man and a curled beard. On the chain, holding the chain, is this frail old man with gray skin and a long neck, chains hung round his neck bearing the symbol of the city of Drakkenheim, dangling in betwixt a piece of delirium embedded in his chest. He leans on an iron rod that is tipped with the symbol of the falling fire as the procession marches forth from the barrack cells in the direction of the chapel.
Are any of them wearing an amulet around their neck?
The frail man holding the chain and the rod has this amulet, this chained amulet around his neck that has the symbol of the city of Drakkenheim, the old crest of Drakkenheim on it.
What do we do, guys? We got to act now. Do we follow them? Do we engage?
Do they have other? You said they have other members of the Falling Fire with them.
Yes,
like it's not just
there is walking alongside the man who you can only assume is the Castellan is a preacher, a priest, and this large lion, white lion with the face of a man, and the fiery-haired woman, and 4 others.
What if we ask them all if they want to share some wine? You know, before they head into the church, maybe they just want to have a glass of wine with us. We're big fans.
It may look suspicious that everyone else around us is sleeping, faces in their food.
Maybe should we put our faces in our food too? Just pretend, let them walk on past, and then follow them?
I think we should wait and follow them.
What are you going to do? You do not have much time to decide. The procession is moving in towards the camps, and it seems like the fiery-haired woman has perked up. She looks about at the group of people.
I fall in line, so I'm gonna kneel near like another like fallen member of the Falling Order, and I'm gonna kind of like take his bowl and just kind of like
look like you've passed out.
Fall asleep. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretend to fall asleep near him.
Have they spotted us yet?
Guys?
You have the next words out of your mouth are going to have to be the decision before I determine that.
I go face first. No, not face first. I like put my forehead into a bowl of soup and just like sit there.
And Del?
Mm-hmm.
Am I close to a tent?
Yes.
I go into a tent.
Okay. All of you can make a stealth check with advantage because of your disguises.
22.
22.
28.
14.
Okay. The woman steps out from the group and she says, "Why is everybody sleeping?" And the old man with the lion on the chain, he says, "This is odd. They all had their supper, didn't they? Well, best check and see what's going on." And the woman gestures. She raises up the great axe over her shoulder and she gestures to 2 of the other followers. She walks over to the group of people, to the earliest part of the tents, where she sees a few others, and she places her hand on their neck to take their pulse. She says, "He's alive, sleeping." And she shakes him awake. And she begins talking. You're across the courtyard, so when she's not shouting, you can't quite hear what she's saying clearly to the person that she's woken up. What would you all like to do?
I'm gonna wake up the person next to me.
Okay.
So I kind of like give him a shot in the in the ribs, and I just pretend to be.
Okay.
Like,
let's
ugh.
find out how good your disguise is. Make a check with your disguise kit. You can add your dexterity and your proficiency modifier to this check.
I get a I get a 10.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm going to use Flash of Genius, and I'm on the same table as you with my head in the soup, and you just hear your mask is slipping, and you adjust it, and I'm going to add that adds 4 to the roll.
So he gets a 14.
Fix it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The man groggily wakes up. He rubs his eyes beside you, and he says, he looks down at his soup and says, What? Brother, what happened?
Get up! The Castellan's watching on us.
Oh. And he scrambles to his feet and wakes up the person beside him and kicks the other and says, Get up! And quite quickly, there is chaos in the camp as all of the people that were asleep begin to wake up. As the fiery-haired woman and her 2 cronies begin waking up the others and starting questioning them, asking, you hear, "What do you mean you fell asleep? You don't know what happened?" And the Castellan there's some conversation that goes between the Castellan and the priest beside him, and a bowl of the soup is picked up and passed from one of the acolytes over to the priest, who looks at it and runs his hands through it, and his eyes glow with a divine light, and he looks over and you hear this word ring out. "It's poison! It's poison!"
I repeat, it's poison! Gel! And I'm gonna kind of yell for "Joel!" like a muffled "Joel!" And then I'm gonna shake up Riggs, and I'm gonna gesture to the cathedral.
And with that, the alert level is raised.
No.
And the castle.
Oh boy, I just woke up.
And the fiery-haired woman cries out. She cries out, "All of you, assemble in the fields! Something is wrong! You've all been poisoned! Gather up along here and don't move from this camp!"
And I'm going to turn to the person next to me and be like, "Who do you think poisoned us?"
I do not feel confident that my disguise will hold up, so I want to try to sneak into a tent.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Sneak away. And can I can apply my boots of elven kind, right?
This is to move silently.
Yeah, checks that rely on moving
In this
silently.
case, it's all about being seen.
Okay. I get a 17.
Okay.
No advantage.
You dive into one of the tents as the other group is all assembled. And and Riggs and Dell, what are you two going to do?
So I'm in a tent right now, which I assume is dimly lit and or in darkness.
Yes.
Okay. Through the slit in the tent, I want to do a quick gaze around the area, including the church. Do I see any other dimly lit areas?
The shadows are being able to come down as the sun is setting. So the shadows are being cast along the entire eastern set of walls. And there's a long shadow, because as the sun is coming down, there is these shadows that are going out over from that direction. So conceivably you could, if you could reach those areas, yes, those are dimly lit areas.
Anything within 60 feet?
Probably another tent.
Okay. I want to then use my shadow step to step into, again, the closest shadow, or actually the furthest shadow that I can.
Okay.
You know, if it's another tent, I hop into another tent, just to keep on the move.
Looking at the map here, from the campsite, conceivably, there are the chapel itself, the northern portion that abuts the chapel. There are stained glass windows there that look into a rather dimly lit room, but the walls, the shadows along the doors, you could probably get right up to that by using your shadow step.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that if I can get right up there without being seen afterwards.
Okay. And Jerry Riggs, what are you going to do?
So I'm at a table probably surrounded by other people at this point, and they're all being woken up.
Yep.
I am just going to fall in line and try to work my way to the back of the group.
Okay.
So that I can slink away. But I'm like following suit. Like I'm standing there and I'm like, you know, making small talk. I'm like, what do you guys think's going on? Who would have poisoned us?
Okay. Make a stealth check.
$14.
Okay. So the bodyguards go into the crowd and they begin looking through people and gathering people up in groups and checking everybody and see how they're feeling as the crowd gathers in the center of the campsite. The priest and two of his men have gone over to the soup pot and they're talking to the cook and trying to figure out where this must have come from. As he examines again the soup pot and realizes that the entire soup pot has been poisoned. And you see the fiery-haired woman begins accosting the cook, and she's screaming at him and saying, how could you do this? How could you? And you realize that the man is the same man that was drawing up, the cook is the same person that was drawing up the water from the well earlier. And she's screaming at him, she's yelling at him, telling him that he's a fool. Like, what was he doing? How did this happen? Is he a spy? Who does he work for? And she slaps him across the face, beats him with the side of her axe, and tries to figure out, and even as she is becoming so enraged, the priest goes in to restrain her, to tell her to stop.
So as I'm standing in this line, I'm going to take one of my vials of poison and I'm going to try to stick it in the pocket of the guy next to me.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
Get a 15.
Can you do your
flash of genius. I'm going to just give myself a +4 to that. So as I'm slipping into his pocket, I notice he has a back pocket that's way more accessible, and I slip it in there. So that's going to be 19.
Okay. I'm going to make an opposed perception check. I get an 18.
Wow!
He like looks back, and I just look at him. I'm like, what? And then I kind of make eye contact with him, and then I step back and I point at him, and I'm going to go, he poisoned the well.
Make a deception check.
I get a 10.
Okay.
You know what? Another flash of genius. We're making it a 14.
There's two people beside him. One of the people turns to you and says, "Who are you? Philip is my brother. He would never, ever do anything so dastardly and wrong. He hasn't taken the sacrament yet, but he's a good soul. He's a good person." And
well, then why does he have poison in his back pocket?
And the other man says, "George, I knew that your brother was. I knew that he was up to no good. Look, and they start wrestling with each other. And the man finds the vial, and he says, "Look, he's got it." And people start. There's a roar that goes up through the crowd as they say,
and I slink away.
It's Philip Beers. He's the poisoner. We found it on him. And the two push down the brother of Philip Beers, and a few people start grabbing him. And there's yelling and screaming all in the chaos and the commotion of what's of the congregation.
I'm gonna slink away to the same tent that the boogeyman is in.
Okay. There is screaming going on, and in the midst of all of the arguing, you hear the sound of this man going, "Please, no! I am faithful to the flame unto death." And then you just hear the woman's voice cry out, "So be it." And you just hear the sound of an axe slicing through a neck and a head drop to the ground.
I burst into the tent and just like close it up behind me. I'm like, taken care of.
And then
good job, Riggs.
The woman says, "If he meant to poison us, he could not have acted alone." And the priest holds up the man's head, and he says, "In death, he will reveal the truth." And he puts the man's head, and he puts the man's head in his hand, and he says, "We will go to the chapel. I will perform the ritual there, and he will tell us who helped him." And the priest, the castellan, and the fiery-haired woman proceed to the chapel, while the other four that were with them contain the rest of the crowd.
Boogeyman, we gotta get to that chapel. Where's Dell?
Well, I don't know, but I have an idea. What if we start a small fire and cause a little chaos? We could probably sneak away and get to the chapel to keep an eye on them.
I mean, there's already chaos out there, but if you want to set something on fire, like this tent, are there people in here? I look around. Are there people in this tent?
The tent that you're in is empty. Everyone else has been pulled out into the middle of the campsite, and already the people are the Philip Beers, the man who was just executed. His brother George is being accosted by the rest of the group, and they're slapping him in irons, and they're screaming at him, saying, were you complacent? Were you working with your brother? Are you against us? You haven't taken the sacrament yet. You have, and they're throwing down question after question in front of him.
Boogeyman, listen.
Riggs, I hate asking twice to have you start a fire. Maybe just get something going, and we'll scream fire and run.
I have just the idea. All right, listen here. We're going to make a break for it in just a few moments, all right?
I'm waiting for your signal.
I take out a little gadget from my bag, and this is going to be the first time I'm using magical tinkering, and it's going to have a little recorded message in it of of okay, actually I'm not sure about this. It says a 6-second long recorded message can be emitted from it. Do I have to record the message, or can I just make something up that's recorded on this device?
You have to record the message. It's recorded.
All right.
We have 12 seconds.
All right. So you and I need to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this up. I'm going to be like, we're going to record us screaming on here. Then we're going to throw it in the tent. We're going to set the tent on fire, and we're going to vacate the premises. But the screaming is going to be in the tent. So they're going to look inside the tent and think that somebody's in trouble. But meanwhile, we'll be already halfway across the courtyard, and they won't be looking for nobody in robes just walking through the courtyard.
Turn it
They'll
on.
be looking at a fire. All right. So I turn it on. What do we have to start a fire? Is that up to me?
I have oil in a flask.
All right. Put some oil on the tent and let's do it.
Mm-hmm. Start spraying oil, and I'm going, ah!
And I'm recording the message. And then I toss it into the tent.
Poisoned us.
I think I'm poisoned. And I light it on fire, and then I throw the gadget into the tent so that it keeps screaming and playing the recorded message.
Okay.
And then me and the boogeyman are going to jump into the nearby shadows and try to like there's several tents around. Yes,
there are
right?
several tents around. There's
so
several
we run
dozen tents
behind the nearby tent that isn't on fire, and then we like take the shadows back.
2, you can make a stealth check.
I just hear this screaming, and I'm like,
Out of 20.
What happens if I roll a 1?
Well, what is the total with the 1? Because
11.
11.
Wrong. It's 15.
Okay.
You see me stepping on like a giant, like I almost step on the machine, and you're like, you push my foot. Like,
I'm
no,
like shoving you. I'm like, you're not being sneaky, man. No, not into the light, into the shadows. Boogeyman.
Okay. The 2 of you make it over to one of the tents, and this fire erupts. Del, what are you doing?
I'm waiting in the shadows. So they're coming towards the cathedral, though, right?
They are, and there's 2 entrances to the chapel. And on a 1, 2, 3, or 4, they're going to come in through your entrance. On a 5 or 1, 2, or 3, they come in through the entrance that you're at, or the entrance on the other side. So they're coming towards the entrance that you're hiding by, and because you're hiding in the shadows by this entrance, if they get any closer, they will see you in these shadows because they're not enough to conceal you. So what are you going to do?
Can I do another shadow step to another area? I'm thinking like, again, more east.
If you're heading back towards the east, it would be the walls, which, yes, you could dart around back towards the outer walls, the inside of the outer walls.
The other option is like to
go back into the campsite where you came from.
Or if I were to go up, because I can fly, is there enough area around the top of the cathedral to hide me from the guards?
Yes, because there are steeples and gargoyles on the rooftops. Yep. So
okay, I then and I just like up the side of the building like a vampire.
Okay.
And hide behind the gargoyles.
Give me a stealth check as well.
18.
Okay, so you dart up and around the building as you in the split second before they come around. You flitter up around onto the top of the building. You don't know if there's you move fast enough that if anybody on the walls saw you move, it would have been like a moving shadow. So you are on the rooftop now, looking down as you see this fire erupt in one of the tents, and you manage to see Riggs and the boogeyman bolt into another tent. So there's a fire now.
And there's screaming coming from the fire.
Now people are screaming out fire, fire, fire. And immediately, as the calls of fire surround, a few more of the more well-armed members of the Falling Fire come down from a few of the towers and out from the barracks. And they're trying to huddle away the general congregation away, but they don't trust. But they know that they can't bring any of them into the chapel because they don't trust anyone because they don't know who's the poisoner or not. So you see a group of the Falling Fire guards take out with their spears, corralling this mass of the congregation in the midst as this fire is happening, and it's complete chaos in the courtyard. I'm going to raise the alert level one more time to represent the fact that it is utter chaos in this environment now, but they actually don't know where you are. So everybody is on high guard and high alert. And at this level, if people that you run into interact with someone that they don't know, they won't trust you no matter what. Like it will make it more difficult to trust them, because now people are going on, do I know you or not? Have I met you before? And everyone is assuming that a stranger could be an infiltrator.
Boogeyman, the time for infiltration is through. We just got to kill our target. He's heading to the cathedral. We got to meet back up with Dell. I say we go into the cathedral. We lock the doors behind us, and we let him have it.
Agreed, Riggs.
The fiery-haired woman bursts out of the front of the cathedral, screaming in a roiling rage. And as she does so, the shard of delirium in her chest glows brightly, and she looks at the entire situation. She begins barking orders at the guards, crying out at the congregation the wrath that they will all face and the atonement that is awaiting for you all. And so she has come out of the front doors with two of her other men and is trying to control the situation. It seems like she may be one of the senior captains.
Where are we in the terms of like when we escape? Like, did we get out from the crowd?
Yes,
like when
you are the crowd. There's kind of a central gathering point in the midst of the camp, where there's a great bonfire and several tables where the soup kitchen and the soup tent are, and several storages and provisions. And they've gathered the crowd of the congregation around there. People have gone through and have been going from tent to tent to get people out of the tents, but you've managed to evade the sweep that the fiery-haired woman's guards have done. And so you are all at a tent at the north end of the campsite, which is relatively emptied now because they're trying to gather all the people together in one place.
I say we just cut open the back of this tent and run.
Yeah, so little slit and book it.
Towards the cathedral, but trying to stay out of
swing it wide around to try to avoid the glare of
we give it a wide
captain.
Darkness.
You split the tent open, you see that there are the guards placed on all the walls who now have their crossbows trained on the courtyard.
You got any plans, Boogeyman? Otherwise we're just sitting ducks here in this here tent. I guess I'm the one who's supposed to get us out of jams, aren't I?
Is there a close guard to us? Is there one that's like in direct eyesight, like scanning like right at our kind of like?
Most of the other people are at least 80 feet away from you now.
But the guards on the rooftop?
On the rooftops? Because of where the courtyard is positioned in the center here, the guards on the walls are anywhere from 100 feet to 200 feet away from you. You're within crossbow range of them, but they are quite a distance away and about 80 feet up.
I'm running low on gizmos and gadgets here. I got a few tricks up my sleeve, but I mean, I use my disguise and I use my invisibility.
If we book it for if we get close to the wall, can they see us? Like the way it's looking down?
If you go along the walls, might be possible.
So I think gonna kind of grab Riggs and go, follow me, and we're gonna book it towards the kind of beeline it towards the closest section of the wall, and then hug the wall.
The eastern part of the walls are shadowed. So if I'm gonna have you both make one final stealth check to just get from the campsite along to the walls, and then you were shrouded in darkness along the eastern part of the inner walls.
22.
I also got a 22.
Okay. You dart rapidly towards the walls, pin yourselves against the walls, and are shrouded in that little bit of shadow that is along the walls, and you inch your way along. And so if you look at the map now, you can see that the walls, the eastern side of the walls, eventually go from the gatehouse. So you cross along the gatehouse, up along the side of the walls, to where there's the back end of the cathedral, of the chapel, is close to the walls. And then from there, you'll be able to proceed relatively out of sight.
Yeah. And we want to get back to around where Dell is. Dell's at the front of the cathedral.
Yeah, and Dell has eyes on you, so you can. So she sees Dell. You can see which way they're going, and can position yourselves along the roofs that you can all sort of regroup at the back of the chapel.
Mm-hmm.
Is it's still chaos, right? Like this, how long did this take for us to get to the wall and kind of circle?
I'm going to say
back?
that another hour has passed, but the chaos has not abated.
Has the group, including the Castellan, gone into the cathedral yet?
They have.
How many doors are there that we've seen into the cathedral?
There are 2 which are on the opposite side of the cathedral. So you can see on the map that I've given you, there's the one set of doors on the north side by the campsite, and there's the south set of doors by the well. There's kind of that courtyard between the well, the barrack, the cell barracks, and the chapel itself.
Question about the chapel.
Yes.
In the chapel, there's like the main floor, but is there any like upper deck inside the chapel?
There might be. It's difficult to tell from inside, but you can see the shape of the chapel is kind of this T shape. If there is any kind of other floors to the chapel, it might be in those parts of it.
Okay.
And are there windows into the chapel?
There are windows all through the chapel. All the windows are covered over with bars. So while the windows have stained glass and allow light in, there's a set of wrought iron bars that have been bolted onto the stonework to prevent entry in or out.
I say that we just head on in, lock the doors, and kill whoever's in there.
Let's move quickly, Riggs.
It's gonna bring everybody's gonna know we're here, but we're only a few minutes away from that anyway. They're gonna find out that it wasn't anybody in that courtyard. It might take them an hour, but we only have 4 hours left to kill this guy and get his amulet.
We can't let the queen down.
I mean, we could. She's not all that.
We're in it for the money, Riggs.
No, we're in it to show the Queen of Thieves that we're trustworthy, and once she knows that we're trustworthy, we cut her in on our deal. Why do you think she wants this amulet so bad? Because she couldn't get it herself. She needs us, and if somebody needs you, all that we have to do is up our price. She wants 30 grand for the 3 of us? I say it's 30 grand each. I say we tell her that when we get back. You know what? You couldn't even do this yourself. You're paying us each 30 grand. Then she'll respect us.
Or she'll kill us.
Why would she kill us? Nobody does what we do as well as we do. We're not expendable. Trust me.
Everyone is expendable.
Del, I'm the brains of this operation. I'm the brains of this team. You gotta trust me.
I'm on the cathedral. Just be like,
Del, you gotta trust.
Maybe we should get closer. Maybe we should
come down here, Del. Come down.
Okay. If possible, I slink down the side of the cathedral in the shadow.
Yep.
Like it's almost like I use my flying boots, but it doesn't look like I'm flying. It looks like I'm crawling down the side of the building.
That's so creepy.
Del, you're the creepiest girl I've ever met, and I gotta say, it's pretty cool. You're a pretty cool gal.
Cool was for blowing people up with ice.
You taught her that, Riggs.
I don't even know what to say, Boogeyman. How do you deal with this? You talk to her.
We have to deal with this. We've got the Castellan. It's heavily guarded.
I say we cool the Castellan. It's the way we have to do it.
Oh, I'll cool the Castellan, all right.
Del, you're right.
You know what else I'm
Your
going to
way
do to
in?
the castle? I'll burn them. I got some explosives. I say we just blow them all up.
Do you have a way of melting metal?
I have a way of making it very hot, but not melting it.
I'm thinking the doors are too guarded. We either need to make a distraction to get in the doors, or we need to find a way to get these bars off these windows.
I can make a distraction. That's
And
what
I don't
do.
mean blowing things up. I mean,
No, I can
While
make
the
some
chaos is going,
distractions.
what do you got, Briggs?
I can. Are there guards at the door to the cathedral?
From where you are, you can't determine at this time, but you could probably sneak. If you give me a stealth check to sneak around to the side and poke your head out, you could get a glance at it and determine that.
Guys, I'm going to go take a look.
So we got to check
Actually,
the north side, right?
You know what? I'm not the guy to go take a look. One of you two go take a look.
I will go. And I crawl back up across the roof
Okay.
and look down.
There are now guards, a pair of guards on either set of doors leading inward.
All right. I wave for Dell to come back.
And looking out across the roof now, you can see that guards have been posted at every door. So the doors to the barracks, the doors to all of the towers, and doors to all the exterior doors now have a pair of guards on them. And there is, and even as you scramble across the rooftop, you can see that that there is an active patrol along the top of the walls. And as well, not only is there an active patrol, the active patrol along the top of the walls, there are two pairs of two. So it's 4 people in 2 groups of 2 that are essentially walking from the gatehouse doors to check in with the chapel, to check in with the barrack cells, and back again.
All right, Dell, listen, we got to time this just right. But if nobody's looking at that door, we can just sneak in. Now, there are guards at the door, but I can make a little device that will play a sound or make a smell or even show some sort of image. That should distract them. Maybe we can get their attention away from the door if everybody's looking at something else.
What kind of
That's
image?
another idea.
What if I make
Thought.
Yeah.
What do you got, Del?
What if it's not about getting into the chapel, but getting the Castellan out?
I'm listening.
What would call the attention of the Castellan to the immediate vicinity? That's what I need to figure out.
Specifically the Castellan. We don't want anybody else.
I mean, if others come with them, we just kill them, but
you want to kill them out here in the courtyard.
Well, can we bring him somewhere else? Can we make the cathedral unsafe where they must move the Castellan and still keep our situation, our presence, unknown?
What's the difference between killing them in the cathedral or moving them to another location?
Access.
Del, what do you have in mind? Maybe we could poison the... Does anyone have any poison gas or some way of flooding the cathedral?
Because we don't necessarily need to get in a window, but if we can open a window and put something inside to get them out.
But then wherever the Castellan goes, we got to get in there and we got to sneak back past this courtyard full of people looking. So as long as, if you have an idea on where we can go that's better than where we are right now, I'm listening. But I'm not going tromping through that courtyard again, not with all eyes on it.
True. Forget my plan.
No, it's a good plan.
We have to.
We just got to be careful. We got to be careful and quick.
And like what you're thinking.
Well, where would they go to potentially protect him? Where we were, potentially his room.
They don't know that we're after him.
Exactly. Well,
This is. You're the brains, Riggs. You gotta come. You gotta think of something.
As you speak, you can actually hear the chanting from inside the chapel as the priest is incanting the words of the Speak with Dead ritual.
Guys, we got to blow them up now.
And is speaking and incanting the words and speaking in Celestial to call upon the severed head of Philip Beers to find out what exactly happened.
Are we near a window?
There's windows all across.
Do the windows open? The
windows are made of stained glass, and they depict various saints and scenes of atonement and forgiveness in the canon of the Falling Fire. So they're the back of the cathedral of the chapel. Sorry, it's not a cathedral. It is a chapel itself, or church, is curved, and there are stained glass windows all along, and you can see emanating from the windows. They're illuminated because there's a great fire inside the chapel, although it is not burning with a golden light, but rather a purplish crimson light. And as the flame burns, you can hear the priest's words speaking the intonations of a ritual, and there might be parts of the stained glass that you could look through and peek through to see what's going on inside. The stained glass windows are about 8 feet off the ground before they begin, however.
I hold Riggs up. I pick Riggs up and I hold him to the closest window.
Looking inside, you can see a pillared hallway with several pews and this great brazier that has that is common for altars of the Falling Fire, but the flame is this purplish crimson instead of a regular that has flickers of octarine in it. And you can see, looking really, really closely, this brazier, instead of coal, it's a pile of delirium. And this fire is being created by burning delirium. The before the altar, the priest is with the castellan, and the priest has the severed head of Philip Beers and is sprinkling dust across it, and is and as he speaks out the dust, and he's burning this incense in front of him, inhaling it, and as the incense flows up, the severed head begins to breathe, and its eyes blink, and its mouth starts to speak in tongues, and the lion-like creature is pacing back and forth near the doors, and there are 2 other men posted by the doors as well, and the castellan is pacing along with the lion.
All right, guys, here's the plan. We got to stop this right now. We got to stop this whole meeting from happening. We got to... Del, I like your plan, but what if we tweak it a little bit? Instead of trying to get the castellan out, what if we try to get as many of them to come out as possible while the castellan and a few others stay in, and then we only have to deal with the ones inside? Maybe. Listen, I got some explosives. I got some distractions. Where should we put a distraction, and where should we put an explosion? What do you guys think? Should we go through the doors or through the windows? We need to act now. So I need votes. Doors, windows.
Windows is the easiest, but we need to block the doors.
What do we remember about the aqueduct? Did it lead into the church at all?
The Queen of Thieves thinks that there might be the crypts underneath the church might have crossover points with the sewer.
What if we timed Huddle.
All right, we're huddled. Let's hear it.
What if we timed an explosive underneath the church and outside to mask the explosion, and we come in from the bottom?
My explosives are kind of, you just throw them and they go off. So unless I can throw it to the location, I don't really have any.
Are you talking about using the necklace of fireballs?
I am.
You might be able to jerry rig something.
That's what I do.
I have some alchemist supplies.
You know what? I'm a master of tools. I'm sure I could figure this out. So we want to blow up underneath the cathedral.
Maybe we also rig something on top of the cathedral. Del, maybe you could place something to make an explosion.
The top of the cathedral is a slate roof. The rest of the building is stone, but the roof is wood and slate.
We could blow a hole in the ceiling at the same time blowing a hole in the bottom, and either enter from 2 points or just one.
But I think the idea is that we want to distract everybody outside and then come in through the bottom, correct?
Yeah, we could maybe launch one of those gargoyles.
How are you going to get in through the bottom?
Back through the well.
How are you going to get to the well?
Yeah, guys, we're kind of against the cathedral right now. So I don't know if you guys are looking around, but we're in a shadow right now. There's patrols everywhere. They're all looking for us. There's a tent on fire over there. There's people yelling about poison. A guy just got decapitated because I made it happen. We got to get into this building. I don't know if we have enough time to go back through the sewers. Again, anything that involves us leaving this spot that isn't going into the cathedral is going to be a lot harder.
What if you, Riggs, what if you just set an explosion on that old cauldron in there?
On the one that inside?
Before this ritual is complete. Maybe we can silence our whoever's going to talk.
Yeah, I'm going to need to get inside the building in order to throw the explosive, though.
Keep in mind, more explosives mean more attention.
Yeah, so prop me up one more time. So I'm looking in.
I hold you by the waist, by the way.
Is the Castellan, he's wearing his amulet, right?
Yes, he is.
Is it like a metal chain around his neck?
Yes.
I look down, I'm like, okay, guys, I'm just going to start something, and then we're going to have to finish it. Do you guys have any other plans? Because we need to act.
The only thing I'm thinking of is, well, we get in there and we just do it.
Well, then let's do it. It's what we're here for. Once we have the amulet and the Castellan is dead, we just need to get out. And I say we just dive back into that well.
How do you want to get in?
Window?
Magic? We'll just go to the front door.
Del, I'm going to give you one of my fireball orbs. And I'm going to be like, take some of our plans and I'm going to put them together. I think you should come in through the roof.
Okay.
Now, that's again, are we looking for explosives or are we looking to keep distraction to a minimum?
Distraction to a minimum around the cathedral, because high alert, it means they're going to be looking for us.
You have to get that Castellan out of there.
The quietest way to go into this building is through the doors.
Then we go through the doors.
We could knock out those 2 guards. We have poison.
Again, we could just distract them.
Every pair of guards is within line of sight of another pair of guards.
Okay, Del, I'm gonna build a little contraption here. The little contraption, what it's gonna do is it's gonna create a silhouette of a person. I'm gonna give it to you. You're gonna go up. You're gonna throw it into the courtyard so that a silhouette appears. The guards at the door will go, "Hey, who's that?" And they'll walk away from their post. The other guards will be like, "Hey, look, there's a silhouette," and some guards checking it out. And then we walk through the door.
What's the silhouette do?
It just stands there.
I can even minor illusion some sound around it too.
Amazing. Now we have a plan. Here, take this gadget.
I take
Okay.
Talk about finding the other vial. say you found the other vial of poison.
True.
Okay, so where
everyone
are
interested?
you gonna get this started from?
So Dell, I imagine Dell is going to fly up and then throw it away
Toward-
from the front entrance.
Like the north entrance, right?
Yeah.
The opposite side of the well.
Yeah.
Where the camp is?
Is that where? Because that's where we're kind of on
That's
the
where
other.
we are. We're on the north side, right?
Yeah.
Of the
Yeah, so-
cathedral, though. Northeast.
Looking out. Okay, so Dell,
Yeah.
when you climb up on the roof and you look out, you can climb across the roof of the cathedral, of the chapel, and you could be above either pair of guards on either the north door or the south door. But there's the two guards there by that door. There are a bunch of other people in the proximity, and as you look down, there's enough people around and there's enough patrolling groups that more than just these two guards would see whatever you see this thing. So
Yeah.
so there any distraction that you put in front of them, because they're posted guards, you think you might not be able to be assured that they're actually going to leave their post, because there's someone they can see other people that could check it out for them.
The other thing, as I'm going across the roof, do I see any weak spots, rough spots that haven't been taken care of?
Make an investigation check.
10.
Looking as
Do I
you
add the 4?
I'm out.
as you
Use them all.
go across the roof, there are some weak points of shingles that you could probably, someone strong enough could bash their way through into the timbers and get into the rafters above. And there are some small holes already in the roof that allow you to look down from up above. So
Are they goblin sized?
a goblin could definitely fit through one of them. Yes.
How much coverage does the roof offer?
How much coverage?
Someone like Dell.
The
Yeah,
roof is
from, like,
higher
the-
than the walls. Right?
So lots of cover.
Yeah, so people on the walls, because there's all the statues and gargoyles and the chimneys on the roofs itself. So only the guards that are patrolling along the section of the east wall would even have a chance of seeing you if you're on the roof.
What if we got up there
All right. And I climb onto Boogeyman's back.
and Dell, throw a rope?
I tie a rope to what I consider is the sturdiest gargoyle that I can find.
Okay. It's easy enough for you all to clamber back up, and you're on the rooftop now. And there's the one high steeple that you can all kind of huddle behind that gives you the best kind of there's one of the steeples gives you the best sort of protection of view, so that you wouldn't be seen by people on the walls. On the rooftops, people would really have to be paying attention now, especially as the sun is going down.
All right, guys. I'm going to lower myself into one of these holes here, and I'm going to get onto the rafters. After that, what do you guys want to do?
Cool. Make an acrobatics check to squeeze through the hole.
18.
So you can squeeze through the hole on the rooftop and get into the rafters where you are now above the ritual taking place.
So I'm like on the rafters, and I look back up at the hole, and I'm like, guys, I'm in.
Yeah.
There's you
beams
to.
going across. Beyond the stained glass windows, the roof is not decorated here at all. It's a simple Spartan rooftop with some tapestries hung up on the insides. The only adornments of the chapel being the gargoyles outside and the stained glass windows within.
How tall is it?
The building itself? 100 feet.
Yeah. Oh my god.
All right, guys. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to go start.
100 feet in total to the tallest point of the rooftop, because it is a sloped roof, right? And then the foundation itself is several feet off the ground. So the tallest points of the rooftop exceed the height of the walls at 80 feet. So from the rafters to the floor is roughly 80 feet.
Guys, I'm going to wreck some stuff, all right?
And we.
I guess
Can we
from the
pull-
rafters to the floor, probably closer to 60 feet. Sorry. Yeah.
Can we grab the castellan?
How?
Well, I can fly. Could we wrap a rope around? I can fly down, put a rope around his neck, and we can pull him up.
Hit him with some knockout poison first, and
Could-
might be make it a little easier.
Could put them on a dart. I have a dart.
You're going to
Several
fly
darts.
down there in front of everybody and tie a rope around his neck?
I can fly.
Well, you make a
55.
distraction, Briggs. You make a
Exactly.
distraction. We pull him up into the rafters.
We don't need to be
And,
near the others. We just need to get the castellan away from the others. Kill him, take his necklace, and get
keep-
out of here.
You keep saying that, but what's your plan to get him away from the others? And how are you getting inside this building? I'm in here right now. You're out there. How are you getting in?
I'm gonna try to make the hole a little bigger.
If you're punching a hole through the wall,
Not
okay.
punching. Not
That's gonna be
punching.
noisy.
Can I quietly make the hole bigger?
You can try. Do you have any sort of tools to do this? Or are you just going to do it with your bare hands?
Would my I'm trying to see what my thieves tools offer.
I have
in
wood
terms of,
carver's
like-
tools.
You do?
Can I help? Yeah.
Okay. So the two
Yeah.
of you, okay. So
So I'm up there on the
You
rafters. I
you
take out my
chisel
wood
off a piece of wood and I'll slowly remove it from the outside.
Yeah.
So yeah, you have to so you're gonna try to do this so
Quietly.
give me a check with your wood carver's tools.
I get
use your-
double proficiency on those.
and using your dexterity because you're trying to do this quietly.
16.
Okay.
Could have been better.
All right. So working together, you're able to enlarge the hole.
All right, guys. Now we can enact this plan. Get onto the rafters. Let's go.
So, my idea is
Walk us through it again, Del.
if I take a rope, tie a noose, go down as quick as I can, tie the noose around his neck, and you pull it up, well, that just gets him away from the others. Number one, killing him in the process.
And once you pull the rope,
Once you get the rope, what if we time like I shoot him with like a poison arrow
As
like in
he's
the top
coming
of the
up.
head and it knocks him out, and as soon as he's out you noose him and we yank him up.
and Boogeyman. Okay, so Del, you're on rope duty. Boogeyman, you're on pull duty because you're so strong. Once he's out, I'm going to drop a fireball on everybody else down there.
But also make a distraction with your little using your little tinker tool.
Right.
Try to-
I cause a
Towards the door?
distraction. I cause
Towards
a
the door.
distraction first, hopefully drawing everybody's attention away from Del.
Mhm.
Let's do it. I start crawling along the rafters towards where the group is talking to the head.
Okay. So you're down in the
What?
rafters. I think
This is
before we
so
move
good.
forward with this plan, I think this is the perfect time to take a break.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that we can contemplate whether our plan's
So
good or
you
not.
can
Yeah,
contemplate
cool.
your
So we have
life
15 minutes to
choices.
mull it over.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So contemplate your life choices, and we will be right back in 15 minutes. It's 7:23 by my clock, so yeah, we will be back in 15.
See you soon.
And we are back from our break. Thank you all. We have had our short rest. We are energized, we are fed, and we are ready to take on the main event as our band of miscreants of the Queen's Men perch in the rafters above the chapel of St. Selena in the midst of the fortress monastery of the Falling Fire. Down below them is the smoldering crimson purple flames stoked by coals of delirium of the altar of the falling fire. There, a priest of the falling fire performs the ritual to speak with dead, again on the head of the scapegoat that Jury Riggs set up as chaos erupts in the falling fire camp outside. Below you, there are two guards of the falling fire flanking the doorways leading from the entrance hallway of the chapel into this the main chapel floor, the shrine. But there are two double doors on the south and north wall on the opposite side of the altar itself, leading ostensibly into the rooms that are by the spires of the chapel itself. Perhaps one of those doors leads down to the crypts, maybe another leads up to the libraries above, or some other side chamber of some kind in the complex. Below you as well, in the pillared hallways marked by stained glass windows, are the castellan, who is pacing back and forth. Beside him is this massive white lion with the face of a man. And so there are only 4 people in the room beyond the lion, this lion-like creature. The hallway is silent, aside from the crackling flame of the octarine pyre and the incantations of the priest. Outside, you can hear the commotion outside as that red-haired woman is still barking orders, and the guards are enforcing their lockdown. And it's at this moment that you hear a bunch of screaming coming from outside, and someone is saying, "There was a bomb in the armory!" You hear resounding out amongst the courtyard as well.
They found it.
I wonder if they're going to try to ring the bell.
And cries of murder and murder and murder, ringing out all around. And at those cries, you hear the castellan say, "Abraham, Ingrid will handle it. Continue your rituals. Find out what they have done and who they are with."
And we're there crawling along the rafters until we're over top of them.
Mm-hmm. And now the sun has set by this time. So it's probably now around 10 p.m., approaching probably getting sometime between 10 p.m. and midnight. So the sun is down and the only light are the light sources that are around.
How long has it been since we've been on the roof?
It's been about the same hour or so, or so since you hit here. So it's kind of in this span of over that last hour since the whole commotion happened in the courtyard. That's been the total time for sunset.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to create a distraction. You're going to drop the rope. Boogeyman, you're going to pull them up. Then we're going to blow them all up, and then we're going to get out of here. Sound good?
Agreed.
All right.
I think it's one of our only options.
I
Improvise.
I'm going to take a little gadget out of my pocket, one of my magical tinkering objects, and I'm just going to have it make non-verbal sounds. So I'm going to actually have it make this like growling sound, and I'm just going to huck it to near the front doors.
Okay.
Of the cathedral. And I just huck it over there, and it starts growling and making this like growling noise over there.
Okay. At the growling noise, the lion perks up and growls back and turns towards the doors. And the guards posted on either side of the doors, they look around. It hits the ground as you throw it down, and you hear they hear this growling noise, and it's coming from the device that you threw on the ground.
Yeah.
And one of the guards steps away from the door. And sees the device that is emitting this noise. What do you?
Del, go! Yeah, that's the cue for everybody. Everybody needs to go now.
And so I take the noose. Can I say I like tied it to the rafter?
So tell me what you guys are all going to do, and then we're going to roll for initiative and see how this all goes down.
Okay. So the idea is that I tied a noose and tied it to the rafter, and I'm swan diving towards the castellan. Swan diving and then flying. To try to put it around his neck.
Okay. And meanwhile, Boogeyman, what are you going to do?
I'm going to be ready to pull the rope up as soon as the rope is around the castellan's neck.
Okay. So, roll for initiative.
Ooh.
Get a 13.
19.
I also get a 19, and I will humbly give Del the first.
Can you imagine? I mean, you can do a reaction too. So I'll go
perfect.
first.
It's perfect.
Can we still say that I threw the device and now this is combat, or is throwing the device?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. Okay.
And that's a perfect order. Del, Boogeyman, Riggs.
Okay, the castellan gets a 17.
Uh-oh.
The lion gets a 15. The guards are
Lion
going to
got
go
a
at 9. And the priest goes at 12. Okay.
Sorry, what was the order?
Del and Boogie, you guys are going to be first. So, okay. So, as one of the guards walks towards the device that Riggs has thrown down, Del, what are you going to do?
I have the rope.
You have the rope.
And I'm essentially like falling until the point where I get right above his head, and I take the rope with the noose, and I put it around his neck, and I cover his mouth.
Okay, so what I'm going to have you do to pull this off is I am going to have you first make a stealth check opposed by his perception check. Okay? As you fly down upon him.
27.
Okay, I get an 18. So now I'm going to have you make an attack roll against his armor class to get the noose over top of him. Okay? And
does this count as an attack?
It does count as an attack.
Yeah. If I get 2 attacks per action. If I don't get to the first,
I'm going to say that this is one full action to attack with.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. 15?
That is a miss.
No! Do you have lucky? Do you have any lucky points?
So as you sail down the rope, you go to line the rope up with his head, and the top of the rope just pulls down the back of his head and sails down the back of his neck.
Oops.
Can she get another shot? Does she have another shot at it? Does Del have another?
If you want to, Del, because you missed, you can try to just grab him, or you can punch him, or with like flurry of blows or something like that. But to noose him, it's a miss.
Can I put my arm around his neck?
Yeah. You want to try to grab him?
Like,
okay. So we're gonna make opposed checks for a grapple. Okay. So you can make a athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay, I'm going acrobatics. 24.
I got a 14. So you've grabbed him and you hold him fast in place.
I imagine like I missed, and then I grab him around the neck, and I have the noose in the other hand.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. So because you got him grabbed, Boogie, it's your turn. Del is going to have to try to hold him as you lift him up.
The old man. Yeah. And I'm just going with the plan. So I just start pulling. Like I give it like I get rid of the slack first with my first pull just to get it taut, and then I just start like pulling furiously.
Give me a strength check. And Del, you can also give me a strength check because you have to hold him too.
I get a 22.
Okay, you are just pulling them both up.
10.
Okay, so you're holding on to him, and you get in the air, and what is your strength score?
Like it's a +1 with a 12.
Okay, so so you've got a choice now. You can either let go of the rope, or you can let go of him.
I let go of the rope.
Okay.
Because I'm still choking him out.
Okay, so you let go. The two of you fall to the ground. I think you have slow fall, correct? Because you're a monk,
I do.
so you don't take any damage from the fall, and you land on your feet. But he lands prone, and so you've in the crash. So you've kind of got him pinned down, as this whole thing goes. So he's surprised. The lion's surprised. Jury Riggs, it's your turn.
I can't drop a fireball in there. Dell, you didn't get out. Oh, man. So I'm like scrambling through my pack. I'm like, all I got are explosives. I can't blow her up. I look down. It's the Castellan. I'm like, screw it. We got to kill the target, right? We got to kill the target. I'm going to cast heat metal on the Castellan's amulet.
Okay.
Around his neck.
His amulet burns white hot, and as he does so, he screams out, "Ah!"
I like point my gun at it, and I like send like a focused
beam of heat that just burns.
Beam of heat that like
I believe it starts doing damage immediately, does it not?
Heat metal. Choose a manufactured. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell. And then they must succeed on a Constitution saving throw.
Yep, so 2d8 fire damage. Roll it.
Yeah. Now, because it's a spell, I get to add an extra d8 to it.
Okay.
Just want to make sure I'm right on that.
Oh, man.
Where is it? It's an extra... Yeah, every time I'm casting a spell using my spellcasting focus, roll a d8 and add that bonus. So... that's going to be 11 damage.
Okay. He crumbles. He's reaching at the amulet and as it burns into his flesh, and you can smell it cooking around him. The priest and the guards are surprised, so we go back to the top of the round with Dell.
Okay. The rope is out of my reach.
You let go of it. And so Boogie, I would imagine, stopped pulling it.
Yeah, could I have let go of it?
Yeah.
It went slack.
Yeah.
So it's down again?
Yep.
I want to grab it again and again attempt to get it around his neck.
Okay, so you try to wind it around his neck again. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
so again, the two of you are going to be wrestling over this. He has disadvantage on his ability checks, though, because of the heat metal.
Yeah.
Okay. So is it acrobatics?
If you want to wrap this around his neck again, I'm going to have you make an attack roll again to let him him up, and then we'll roll the opposed check.
15 plus 7,
okay.
So 22.
So you wrap it around him. It's much more haphazard this time. And you can give me an acrobatics check as you weave it around him.
17 plus 7.
Okay. With disadvantage, I get a 7. So he is bound. I'm going to say that he's restrained by the rope now.
I do that like 2 tugs.
2 tugs means up.
Okay. Boogie, it is... Adele, is there anything else that you want to do? You have your movement bonus action remaining still?
I will fly. So it's wrapped around his neck. If he gets pulled up,
yeah,
it's going with?
Yeah.
Okay. So I start to fly up towards the rafters.
Okay.
And I think that's it for me. I don't have bonus action, so I'm good.
Okay. So Boogie, over to you. What are you gonna do?
I get I get rid of the slack again, and then I just start pulling.
All right, give me that strength check.
This time I give it a good yank at the start too. Just
Okay.
this time I get a 5.
A 5. Okay, so you yank, you pull and pull.
This old man.
What is your strength score?
It's a 14.
It's a 14. So you pull him with the 5. You pull him 10 feet off the ground, and he's dangling there. He's not choking.
Weird old man.
The rope's around his neck, but he's not choking.
Might be the amulet.
Riggs, help!
It is the Castellan's turn.
Mm.
Here it is.
Wait, is he hanging like 10 feet off the ground right now?
He's hanging 10 feet off the ground on the ropes.
Don't forget heat metal.
And he's got the heat metal burning around his neck. And
Double choked.
yeah, he's double choked. I'm going to say that because of the ropes, he's going to try to cast a spell, but you've got these around his necks. It doesn't seem like he needs to breathe, but it's still constraining his throat. So I'm going to have him make a spell casting ability check with disadvantage because of the heat metal to try to cast a spell.
This is so nerve-wracking.
It's good. It's going well.
What is your spell saving throw DC?
15.
15? Okay, so with the disadvantage, I only get a 13. So he tries to cast this spell, and he chokes out the words of the prayer choke in his throat, and he can't. But even as he tries to cast it, he reaches out with his hands towards Boogie and Dell, and it seems like he's trying to cast a spell using a bonus action. You can just tell the spell might have been Misty Step. And as he reaches out towards both of you, his hands turn black, and this blackened octarine energy extends from his hands, which flash in a skeletal manner, and these two bolts sail towards Dell and Boogie. And I get a 17 to hit Dell. This is with the disadvantage from heat metal, and I get a 16 to hit Boogie.
16 hits.
The 17 hits.
Okay, so I hit both of you. So you each take 18 necrotic damage. And I need both of you to make strength.
I have resistance against necrotic.
Okay, I need both of you to make strength saving throws.
Oh boy, okay.
I
14?
got a 7.
You both fail. As this necrotic energy extends out from the Castellan's hands, it takes the form of these ghostly chains which wrap around you, and they coil out like bolus. The chains wrapping around both of you and then latching in a ghostly manner to whatever surface they can find. You are both restrained.
Ah! Ghost chains!
Ghost chains! Okay. The lion. So Dell, you are flying in the air. How high up are you?
Flying speed is same as my walking speed, correct?
Yeah.
55 feet in the
Okay.
air.
So the lion paces in the air. The magic of this that is binding you is actually binding you in the air. So it doesn't pull you down. And so the lion begins growling and howling, and it is pacing in the ground, and the human-like mouth licks its chops at you, like it's just anticipating this meal. It clearly having taken a readied action to attack if someone should fall from up above.
Oh.
Jury Riggs, it is your turn.
All right. Jerry Riggs reaches into his bag and pulls out an orange orb that looks like it has a swirling fire inside of it. And he's just like, so the cat's there, the lion.
Yeah.
The 2 guards and the priest, are they all within
40 feet? Yes, you could get all of them. It would also hit the castellan and potentially.
Yeah, that's fine. We're trying to kill him. So
the rope is flammable.
Yeah, he's about 10 feet up.
So there's a chance it could break the rope.
I'm a guy who likes to take chances. So I take the orb out and I'm like, hey, ugly cat, catch. And I toss it right at the cat's stupid human face.
It's creepy.
It
Stupid human
explodes.
Okay. So it's a necklace of fireballs. So I think it's a DC 15, right? Automatically.
Yeah.
So the two militants, I'll just roll their saves. They both fail. The priest fails. The lion succeeds, and the castellan, he is restrained and still has this, so he has disadvantage. He fails as well, and then I will have you roll a saving throw for the rope, to see if it holds out.
Come on.
All right. Do I get a bonus to that, or is it just a roll?
It's just a straight roll.
I get a 10.
So the rope is destroyed too.
No! It's okay. It's okay.
How much damage?
Let me just see that.
The important part.
32 damage.
That was a good fireball.
I got 1-1, 3 5s, a 6, a 4, a 3. Actually, 2 1s. Sorry, 2 1s, a 4, 3 5s. Yeah, there were 3 5s and a 6 in there.
Okay, the fireball ignites over the lion's stupid human face, leaving behind.
So you get for looking like a human.
The flames extend, catching the 2 guards, and just incinerating the front half of their bodies, sending smoldering flames dropping towards the ground. The lion is singed, but it rolls through the flames. The priest is badly burned. There's scars all running up the front side of his body. The head that he was holding is just destroyed. His ritual completely interrupted, but he's bloodied but still alive.
And the castellan?
And the castellan is very badly wounded by it, but he is, and as the flames recede, you see this magic fade away off of him, and as the magic falls off of him, you see that his whole body is emaciated, and his eye sockets are empty, and his lips have rotted away, and he has almost skeletal hands with just bits of flesh hanging onto them, as the magic reveals what he was like all along. And the purple delirium that was in his chest is actually golden. Some spell was concealing the whole thing.
I see this happen, and I look down and I go, "Kill it with fire!" And I'm gonna flick a switch on my gun and reactivate the burning amulet around his neck.
Roll 2d8 for damage.
3d8 because of my ability.
Nice.
Doing 15 more damage.
Okay.
Nice.
Alrighty. He is not bloodied yet.
Oh man.
It is the guards are dead. The priest still survives, and he stands up, and he looks over to the castellan. He looks up and sees you up there, Jury Riggs, and he utters a prayer, and a guiding bolt sails out from him towards you, Jerry Riggs.
Sure does.
Getting a 18 to hit.
Oh, that hits.
All right, he's casting this using a 3rd level spell slot. So that is going to... Oh, man. Only 14 damage. I rolled 4 1s and 2 5s.
Oh,
Woo.
so lucky,
14
Jerry.
radiant damage, and you do need to make a concentration check for your spell, though.
Are we still ensnared as well, even after the fireball and everything?
Yes.
I got a 16.
Okay, so you're still concentrating on heat metal, and yes, you are both still ensnared.
Did the Castellan take any fall damage for falling?
Yes, he took enough to leave him bloodied.
Yeah.
We go back to the top of the round with Dell.
Top
Top of round
so
3.
I'm restrained in this.
The fireball
Phantom
rocks
chains.
out. I'm also going to say that when the fireball went off, the stained glass windows, like a bunch of them just burst and the shattered glass is spilt out everywhere. The fireball actually did not hit the altar itself, thankfully.
So I imagine I'm like got this phantom chain and I'm just kind of like swinging in midair as like the fireball goes off. I'm just like from the explosion and I try to like wriggle out of it. So strength.
You can make a strength check or you could attempt to teleport out of it with your shadow step.
Am I in shadow?
You are not in
Or dim
shadow,
light?
No.
No, so I can't
Okay.
can't do that. So I'm gonna strength it.
Okay.
5.
You are still restrained. That's your action to try to break out, but you have your bonus action.
Yeah, none.
Okay. Boogie, over to you.
Continue to hang in midair.
I'm also gonna try to get out of these ghostly chains. Oh my gosh, what do I have to make though? Like I probably gotta make something.
You can use your action to make a strength check to break out of the chains.
I get a 10.
You do not. You wrestle against the chains, but they hold you fast.
That's not great. I'm going to. Can I move? Can I move?
No, you are restrained.
That's true. Okay. Can I hide? My bonus action.
The chains reveal your position.
Okay.
Oh, looks like it's up to old Jerry again.
I'm so caught.
Okay. The Castellan stands to his feet, grasping at the rod that he carries and and placing his hand on the golden delirium on his chest, and he looks up and sees the chains that are binding both Dell and Boogie, and looks at finally and turns his gaze towards Jerry Riggs in the rafters and sends the same energy out towards him. And as he does so, he squeezes the chains around Boogie.
Ow.
So Jerry Riggs, I get a 23 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits.
And Boogie, I get a critical hit against you.
Ow.
So Jerry Riggs, you're going to take 18 points of necrotic damage. And Boogie, this is going to hurt. Sorry, buddy. It's going to be 40 points of necrotic damage.
Can I uncanny dodge?
Yeah, you can. You can try to use your uncanny dodge to push your way to the weaker points of the chains as you do so. And you are all restrained. Actually, Jerry Riggs, you get to make a strength saving throw to try to resist it.
Lucky for you, I'm a goblin. Oh, I just rolled a 20. That's
Okay.
a 21.
You wrangle your way out of the chains miraculously.
Nice.
Can't catch me. I'm too quick. Too quick and too smart.
Ow.
Now, Boogie, you just got to move. Like this. Just like this.
Okay. The lion continues to pace along the ground. Jury Riggs, it's your turn.
All right. As I roll out of the way of these chains on the
Leaping across the rafters? Yeah.
Yeah. I grab like a switch on my gun. Okay, so question actually, are the priest and the castellan next to each other?
Yeah, pretty much.
And where is the lion? Like how far away is the lion from the two of them?
About 10 feet away.
Damn. Not 5 feet. All right. I'm going to supercharge my gun, and you see it kind of like powering up, like it makes like a whirring sound, and you hear like an engine kind of starting to run, and I blast it, and it shoots an even more concentrated ball of ice that fires out and hits the castellan in his face. I'm casting Ice Knife, and so I'm going to make a spell attack. That's a 22 to hit.
It is a hit.
All right, so Ice Knife does 1d10 damage. Plus I get to add an extra d8. So that's 10 damage. And both him and the priest need to make a dexterity saving throw. The castellan with disadvantage.
The castellan gets he actually gets a 17.
With disadvantage?
Yeah, I rolled a 19
Fine.
and a 17.
Fine.
But the priest gets a 4.
So as the shard of ice explodes in the castellan's face, shards of ice puncture into the priest, doing an additional 7 damage to him.
The shards of ice impale him through the eyeballs, and he falls over dead.
And I like start, a bunch of steam is coming out of my gun, and I'm like blowing it off. And I'm just like, all right, guys, that's about all that I have. Anybody else got any tricks up their sleeves? Oh, and then as a final action, as my bonus action, I'm going to reheat up the necklace.
Okay. 3d8.
Why did I put those dice away? I know better than that.
Actually,
Got
did
this,
you make
Jerry.
your Constitution saving throw from the damage before? Yes, you did.
Yeah. 14 more damage.
Okay. All right, Del. It's your turn.
All right, I'm going to try to wriggle out of these chains again. Let's see what I can do. 16?
You break out!
Yes. Okay, is the castellan below me?
He is. And so is the lion as well. About 10 feet from the castellan.
Okay. 10 feet?
Yeah.
I want to fall on the castellan. Can I just like let myself drop?
And take and now, but you want to drop, but you want to not take the falling damage yourself, but also cause damage to him, correct?
Yes.
I'm gonna have in order to hurt him and not hurt yourself, I'm gonna have you make an acrobatics check.
Okay. 16.
Good enough for me. You are 55 feet up in the air.
Yes.
Roll 5d6 damage.
Are you becoming a weight?
Do you like cannonball into his... I don't even know. It's great.
Just need one more.
She breaks the chains and starts falling, and I'm just like, can't she fly?
16?
Damage?
Yeah.
Okay. You break the chains. You fall down upon him, landing on his neck. And there's this awful kind of cracking sound, but he turns underneath and looks at you, and again, he's still alive. He's knocked prone. And in shock as you land on top of him.
Hello.
As you land down, the lion,
Hello.
its ready to action goes off, and it pounces on you.
Sure.
Getting a 26 to hit.
Yeah.
So you land on him, and then it collides into you, dealing 19 points of piercing damage as it bites into your side. And make a strength saving throw, or you're going to be knocked prone as well.
19.
You are not knocked prone, but the lion does leap at you and bite into you.
Ouch.
Anything else, Del? Still got your bonus action. Technically, you still have your movement because you just fell.
Oh, perfect. Okay. I'm assuming that I'm based with lion.
Yeah, but it used its reaction to attack you already.
Yeah. I'm assuming that I'm not in shadow. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I can do anything with my bonus action.
Okay. Boogie, over to you.
And so I'm still in these chains.
Yep.
Not for long. I got a 16.
Break out!
Ah! And what's the rope doing? The rope's just been destroyed, right?
The rope is still dangling there. It basically got burned off 20 feet from the ground. So there's still about 40 feet of the rope remaining.
I'm going to kind of hide in the rafters and get ready to do some magic next turn.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
Just forget about me. 27. Just you've forgotten that I live here.
Okay. The Castellan. Del, the Castellan turns to you, and his hand lights up with black energy, and he pushes it towards your face. He casts Blight upon you. Make a Constitution saving throw.
3.
Okay, that's a fail. So you're going to take 8d8 necrotic damage. It's going to be
halved.
Oh, it's automatically halved, eh? So it's 30.
I have
it's
resistance.
30 necrotic damage, but it's halved, so it's 15.
It's a good thing, or else I'm looking like more pale, like
More pale than usual.
like my face has been like sucked in because I'm like so close to death.
As the energy reaches into you, you see this look of righteous hate upon his face, and he says, "You cursed creature, die!" And then you're still alive after he casts the spell. So there's a momentary look of fear in his face. The lion, it comes towards you, Del, and it's going to go all out. It tries to bite and claw at you, getting a 15 and a 10 with its claws.
Nope.
And a 9 with its bite.
Nope.
Woo! So it claws at you, bites at you as you stumble back from the necrotic energy and trying furiously to fight you off and defend. It tries to interpose itself between you and the Castellan to protect him. Then we go to Jerry Riggs.
Jerry Riggs, now that both of you guys are out of the chains, he looks down, he's like, looks like you guys could use a little bit of help on this, eh? And I'm going to pull out a small pouch of like delirium dust. And after I open the pouch and do like a big, I pour it into my gun and I blast out a fairy fire onto the area with the lion, the Castellan, and apparently Dell, I guess. Can I choose my targets, or is it just No,
yeah,
it's
it's everybody. The lion makes a saving throw with a natural 20, but the castellan
No.
fails with a natural 1.
All right. So I really wanted to get that lion in there, but the castellan is now glowing purple. Does Dell need to make a save as well?
Yes, she does.
Oh, Dell. Sorry,
What am I saving?
Against fairy
you're making a
fire.
dexterity saving throw. This might go poorly.
15.
15 matches,
Okay, so you're not affected by
you're good.
it.
So you guys now have advantage on attacking the castellan, and I am going to heat up that necklace one more time.
Okay, roll it.
14 more damage.
The necklace burns through the castellan's flesh, and he collapses into a pile of dust.
Oh, I wasted that fairy fire. Now nobody's sparkling, except his dead body, of course. Del, grab the amulet.
Is it still burning?
It is burning hot, but you can end the spell if you wish.
I'll end the spell as it falls to the ground.
The doors it's the top of the round. It's been 3 rounds since you broke in. The doors of the cathedral burst open, and the fiery red-haired woman comes careening into the room alongside 6 other falling fire fighters, crying out with a righteous prayer on her lip. She says, "Infidels! Unbelievers! What have you done?" And with that, we are at level 4 alert. And another...
Because the castellan's dead?
Yeah, and another hour has definitely passed. The full fortress is mobilized, and you've been caught red-handed murdering the castellan.
That's okay. Mission accomplished. Del, grab the amulet. We
Del,
gotta get
it is
out of
your
here.
turn.
So, the lion was still like, could I skirt around him to get the
It's
amulet?
within reach. It's within your reach
Oh,
because
okay.
you were still on top of the castellan from before.
Oh yeah.
He burned to death.
I grabbed the amulet,
Okay.
and again, am I based with the lion guy?
Yes, you would need to either disengage or accept the attack of opportunity.
Or you have mobile, don't you?
Yes, I do. So I'm gonna just take my staff and I whack him.
Okay. Bad kid.
16 to hit.
That's a hit.
7 damage.
Okay.
I get 2 attacks for action, so 20 to hit.
Also a hit.
10 damage.
That leaves it bloodied.
Because I hit him, I don't get opportunity attacks by him, and I fly up 55 feet with the amulet in hand.
Okay, you are in the rafters.
Amazing. Just want to check. Did the grabbing the amulet take any?
No, it's your interaction
Actions?
to pick it up.
Okay, and am I in shadow now?
You are.
So as a bonus action, I shadow step outside the crack into the darkness of the night onto the roof.
Nice. Very nice. Boogie, it is your turn.
I seeing Dell on the escape, I kind of poke out from the rafters, and as I move towards the exit, I'm gonna take a shot at the red-haired lady.
Okay. You have advantage because she can't see you. Because you were hidden.
Surprise! I get a 19 to hit.
That is a hit.
So I'm gonna sneak attack that. Try to slow her down a little bit. Only 16 damage.
Okay. She screams out.
And then I dash out the
Okay, make
the hole.
Make an acrobatics or athletics check as you clamber out.
16.
All right, you're up and out. The falling fire floods the room, and as she does so, she takes a battle axe and she hurls it towards Jerry Riggs.
Jerry!
But it collides with one of the rafters and misses. What are you gonna do?
All right, so I pull open my bag again, and I'm like, all right, Jack, we've been through a lot, but it's your time to shine now, bud. And I'm going to take out this little robot, and I just drop him down into the battlefield, and like it's a little box, and as it hits the ground, it springs up with legs, and it like looks like a cute little robot, and it like looks at everybody, and then it starts spewing out flames from its face. So let me just get my Eldritch Cannon stats here. So I drop the cannon into the battlefield right in front of the red-haired lady, and it exudes a 15-foot cone that everybody within 15 feet needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
She succeeds, but the two behind her don't.
All right. It just does 9 damage.
Okay.
And it ignites any flammable objects. And while the droid is like beeping and booping and spraying flames at everybody, I run and I try to clamber out the hole as well.
Acrobatics or athletics, please.
I'm not very nimble. Ooh. I get a 16.
You clamber out. All three of you are on the rooftop, but you're not out of the woods yet because there are a bunch of falling fire soldiers, at least a dozen of them on the walls, and with all the yelling, that people are crossbows are trained, and you're already on the rooftops. And as they see you clambering out onto the roofs, each of you are shot by crossbow bolts. I get a 9 against Dell, a 21 against Jerry Riggs, and a 20 against Boogie.
Yeah, it hits.
Ah, my shoulder!
It's going to be 6 damage against each of you. They start firing crossbow bolts at you.
You missed.
Okay, you are on the rooftop. You are making your escape. You are in the middle of this chapel. Everyone it's like a hornet's nest down there. People are swarming it. Crossbow bolts are flying towards the roof, even through the darkness. How are you going to get out of here?
Do we jump for the well?
Can you make it to the well?
In theory, I can make it anywhere. Whether I live or not is up to gravity.
It's like a kind of a 40-foot gap between the roof and the well.
Oh God!
Del, maybe make a zip line, take a rope and fly there. Take my rope and fly there.
I was thinking either that, or if you can get down there yourselves, I can just fly out of here.
But
well, we need you. You can't get out by yourselves. This is a team game.
I mean, and I start to lift myself off the roof and I say, I have the Castellan's necklace.
Yes.
Oh, now it begins.
And then I drop back down and say, I made a funny. I would never have been.
You're hilarious.
Look at this one. Look at this one. Let's get out of here.
All right.
Our best friend made a joke.
Oh, so good, Dal. So good. I'm so proud of you. Make a zip line. Make a zip line out of here, please.
I tie a rope to the gargoyle closest to me. I fly down towards the well. As I'm going, can I take a greater healing potion?
No, you don't have enough actions.
I'm just like, oh. And then I essentially like, I go down the well with it, so that way I'm like as far as it can go.
Okay, so you fly down, rope around the gargoyle, rope down. You're 20. You're using all your speed to do this, and your bonus action.
Essentially dashing it.
Yeah, you're doing a flying dash with the rope just looped around. You leave a zip line. There are people scrambling past the well from the barracks as you do this. So you leap out, and the falling fire congregation sees this shadow leap off the roof of the chapel, creating the zip line down to the well, and they're shocked in this brief moment as you dip down the well. Boogie and Jury Riggs, you're gonna zip down along the rope. What I'm gonna have both of you
Where's my
do
gun?
is give me acrobatics checks as you slide down this thing.
I'm using my bow. 15.
15?
10.
10? Okay. So, Jerry Riggs, as you slide down, you got two options, Jerry Riggs. You can either let go and fall, or you can slow your speed, which means that that as the two of you slide down, all three of you, there's enough members of the Falling Fire that all three of them are going to shoot at you with crossbows. Jerry, you got two options. You can drop, take the falling damage, and scramble and try to pick yourself up and clamber over to the well, or you can slow your speed in the zip line, and that means that everyone that I'm going to roll a d6, that's how many shots you're going to take, and that's how many shots total you'll take. Otherwise, you'll just take one.
I'll take the shots.
I get to
gonna
make
take the
3 shots
shots.
against you.
All right.
He's gonna take the
I
shot.
get a crit and 2 12s.
The crit hits, the other two
The
miss.
crit does 12 points of damage.
I'm fine.
Okay, because
I
you get
get
hit,
shot
and
in the
because you got
gut.
crit,
Ugh!
I'm gonna have you make 1 Constitution check to hold on to the rope as you slide down.
17.
You do. The three of you slide down. Dell, a crossbow bolt fires past you and misses, and shots against Boogie miss. The three of you dive down into the well, and it's a drop. So what are you gonna do?
There's water at the bottom, right?
Yeah, but it's not that deep. It's only about 5 feet. Like, it's only a couple feet deep.
I'm clamoring. I'm a big boy.
Okay.
I as soon as I hit the well, I'm like doing like a reverse spider climb. So I'm like climbing like down the well through
Give
on
me
the
an
outside.
athletics check. Jury Riggs, what are you gonna do?
I get a 15.
That's a great question. I'm not good at anything.
Fly, you little man.
Dell's clambering down. You could grab onto Dell or
Yeah, you can
Boogie.
grab onto my back.
I drop and land right on Boogie's back.
Boogie, give me one more strength check to hold in place because you got to make it.
I get a 10.
Okay. You
It's heavy.
drop Jerry Riggs. And he goes flying. Dell, you
Can I catch him?
No, because you that was your one shot. Dell can try to grab him.
I can try. Strength?
Or acrobat. You can make it acrobatics to try to grab him.
22.
You grab him. Now make strength to
Oh,
hold him.
jeez. I feel like you grabbed me by my pants and I'm just hanging there.
No.
By your goggles.
You grab him by his underwear, which stretch and snap, giving him a turbo wedgie, and he falls to the bottom. So Jury Riggs, you're gonna fall the depth of the well into the water, which does dampen the fall somewhat, but you take another 20 points of falling damage.
Oh my goodness.
As you
All right, guys. I like land with like it's like as I'm falling, I go, "Don't worry, guys, I can dive into this. This is shallow water, but I can do it." And I just you just see it's like an ankle deep water, and I just hit the ground.
Still see your body.
I like pick myself up, and my face is all bloodied,
you survive.
and I have 1 hit point. I have one
That's all you
hit
need.
point.
That's all you need.
Oh, my
Come up
face.
to you. I come up to you and I just rub the ointment on your face.
Oh, thank you. Are we out of combat? Are we out of?
No, because the people come up and they start firing crossbow shots down the well.
Whose turn is it?
It's the falling fire. So I'm gonna.
Okay.
You're all gonna get hit by 1 crossbow shot.
It was our whole turn to get into
Yeah.
the well, right? Okay.
Yeah. So I get a 19 against Dell. I get a 2 against Boogie, and I get a 16 against Jerry Riggs.
You know what? I'm using shield. I'm using my last spell slot. I cast shield.
You hit me.
Dell, you take 7 points of piercing damage.
Del, throw it back.
Oh yeah. Wait, I can do that.
Huck it back at him.
I'm gonna use deflect missiles. So my damage is reduced by 1d10 plus 11, so I take nothing.
And you can throw it back? Or I think you have to use a key point to throw it back, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
which I
so
have
you
none
grab it in midair.
You grab the arrow out of the air.
before it
That's
hits
so
my
cool.
face.
Okay.
Is my robot still spewing flames somewhere out there?
It's long been battered down. How?
Yeah, fair enough. He served his purpose.
Over to you guys. You are now at the bottom of the well. What are you gonna do?
Diving in,
Back out,
kicking off, and just going back.
I take another one of my fireballs as the two of them drop in, and I hurl it up towards the mouth of the well.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Explosion sets off. Boom.
And then we run, or we walk away. We walk away in slow motion as rubble falls behind us.
We slowly get into a small crevice of water, slow motion, as I try to jam myself into an aqueduct.
My slow motion is still faster than you guys because I have such a fast walking speed.
Such a weird. It's like a time lapse.
As we're walking away, I say, in my language, there's a saying just for this time. It's Shinoker Kudur Mina, and it means successful flight after a losing battle in the light of a waxing moon at the solstice. I never thought I'd be able to use this phrase, but today, this is time.
You're
Oh,
very
that's
interesting.
beautiful.
It is beautiful. Much more beautiful than your common language.
You guys, we're the best. We're the best team out there. Nobody can do what we do. No, we're unstoppable. We just took down an entire, religious sect. We don't even need the Queen of Thieves. Let's go back and tell her. Let's go back and tell her that we got this. We're in charge now.
You're right. We are unstoppable. And I cough and there's blood all over my hand and just
Hey, Del, you got any more of that ointment?
Yes, I do. And I'm gonna take some of that ointment. And
We're smearing ourselves with ointment.
Yeah, I have 3 uses left.
So one for each of us.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna take a greater healing potion.
Gentlemen, are we in the clear? Are we leaving? Are we exiting through the sewers
underneath? Yeah,
exiting the sewers. We cooled the castellan.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Right, Jerry? We cooled him. This is what we did.
I would say that we burned him. I would say that we choked him. I would say that we messed him up a bit. But you know what, Del? We'll work on it. We'll work on the common phrases here. All right?
Okay.
Boogeyman.
I feel invincible.
You are invincible. Did you die? Have you died yet? No, then you can't die. Trust me, I'm smart.
We pulled it off.
Of course we pulled it off. Listen, guys. Team huddle in the sewers here. All right. Queen of Thieves. She sent us in because we're the only ones who could get this amulet, right? She couldn't do it. None of her other men could do it. It's only us. We are the best team out there. We are the only ones who do what we do. When we get back to the Queen, I say we tell her so. I say we tell her that we're keeping the amulet unless she pays triple what she offered. And on top of that, she's going to give us a promotion. We are now going to be equal partners in owning Drakkenheim. What do you guys say?
I say she'll probably try to murder us in cold blood, but if you think it's the right thing to do, I trust you, Jerry.
Again, she won't try to murder us because she needs us. We're necessary.
What's this amulet do?
I don't know, but we're going to make it up. I know it's powerful. She wouldn't want it.
Do I motion to put it on? I'm like, should I?
What's the worst that could happen? I hear that sometimes. A few people around the city say that.
No, I don't want to tarnish its magic.
Well, fair enough. Let's go talk to the Queen of Thieves. Don't worry, I got this. Safe. She won't be mad because she knows. She's a smart lady, and us intellectuals, we're going to have a conversation. Don't worry about it.
All right. Let us go meet at the meeting spot.
All right, Jerry, if you think we can do this. I want a little more money.
Yeah, we all want more money and we want more praise. We earned it. Let's go. Let's go get what's ours.
Okay. You make your way back through the sewers, past the ruins of the city, and out through the night towards Amberwood Village, where nearby the farms of Tiller's Fields are the designated meeting space where you will meet the Queen of Thieves shortly in the wee hours of the morning. So with that, the alert level no longer matters, nor does our time clock, because you made it back in time.
Yeah.
Huzzah.
I'm also taking both my potions on the way back.
Took a greater
Yeah,
healing.
you guys have enough time to take a short rest if you wish.
Yeah, we're taking a short rest.
When you arrive at Tiller's Fields, it is shortly after midnight. The Queen of Thieves is not scheduled to meet you until dawn.
You guys want to take a long rest?
I say we set up a trap. I could hide, and you could say that I was,
Build an action?
yeah, especially if we're going to jump her. Or, no, wait. You don't want to
No,
attack her.
guys.
We just want more money.
We just want more money. She's not going to kill us. We're too good. We're too good.
We're too important.
We're too important.
To
You
the
think any
organization.
other people could have gotten that amulet? No, just us. So all we have to do is let her know that. She already knows it up here. We just got to let her know it in here.
Inside our
delirium.
chests?
I mean, our hearts. Yeah. in
Why
your
would it
heart.
matter inside your heart? It just beats blood.
Jerry, are you sure we want to do this?
Boogie, when have I ever led you astray? Okay, you and me, we've been working together for a long time. All right. What's your issue? What do you think? The Queen of Thieves is just gonna murder us on the spot because we asked for more money? No, we're gonna have a negotiation. She's a smart lady. We're part of a crew. We're not only part of a crew, we're the best part of a crew. You think she's just gonna throw us aside? No, she's gonna listen to us.
Well, if it means more money in my pocket, then I'm in.
Again, okay, listen, Dell. Do you consider yourself valuable? Do you consider yourself one of the best infiltrators in the business?
Invaluable to my queen and my queen alone. However, she sees my purpose. That is where my value lies.
Yeah, okay, I'll take it. I'll take that as an answer. Boogeyman, you're renowned. You're one of the best assassins in all of Drakkenheim, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so who's the Queen of Thieves?
She's a paycheck.
She makes decisions. She's good at decision making. You know what she doesn't do? She doesn't assassinate people. She can't jump through shadows. She can't be as smart as me. She needs us, and we need her to be the decision maker. That's what she's good at. So as a team, we just bring her in as a fourth member, and we split everything evenly from now on. I think that she'll take this offer because she knows that we are superior to her in certain regards. Now, we're going to be polite, we're going to be civil, and we're going to just let her know what's what. You guys with me?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're on the right track.
I will
Trust me.
follow along.
No bad will come from this. I promise.
All right.
I'll let you lead the way.
So after your little conference, you're going to wait to meet her till dawn?
I don't know. You guys want to go out for a drink?
Is there any forests around?
Overgrown farmsteads, copses of trees. Yes, absolutely.
I say we don't wait at the waiting spot. We wait nearby to see her come, just in case.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
I don't trust for any ambushes that may happen.
As dawn breaks, the queen doesn't arrive. An hour passes. and another. And by this time, you have the benefits of a long rest. It isn't until mid-morning that finally a brown-robed figure on a single horse cart arrives up the road. It pulls up to the barn.
Is that the Queen of Thieves?
It's got to be her.
I don't like the look of this.
She said she'd meet us here. She's never
Figure
stood us up
appears to be
before.
an old man who saunters into the barn. Where are the three of you?
Probably out by the tree line.
Okay.
I'm up in a tree.
Do you guys want me to go see what's going on? Or do one of you guys want to go? Boogeyman, Dell?
I say one of us goes and two of us stay here with the amulet.
Yeah, I'm not nervous. I could go up there, but I'm not as fast or as sneaky as you guys, so
I'll go
I'm not
check it out.
scared.
I'm going to go investigate.
Boogeyman, if anything happens, holler.
Here, I'll give you a little gadget. It will make a loud noise, so we know if something's wrong.
Okay. So I'm going to start to approach the barn.
Okay. You approach the barn.
Sneak up to it.
And the old man that in this brown robe sits back on the cart. Reaches into his cloak and pulls out an envelope and rests it on his knee.
Is that the payment?
Do you approach the man?
Yeah.
The man turns to you and he opens his mouth. He has no tongue or teeth. And as he holds out the envelope, and as he does so, you can see this frothing at his lips, and he keels over dead. You recognize this. It's a poison.
And the envelope's still just on his knee?
Yeah. It flutters to the ground.
I'm gonna try to pick it up with my with some two daggers. Try to.
Okay.
I don't want to touch it. Feel like something in it?
Yeah.
With that, I'm gonna wrap my hand in a cloth to open up the envelope and see what's inside.
You open the envelope and there's a note written in an elegant script. It reads, "To my dear friends, I trust that your business ventures were successful. If they have been, please take this wagon. On my friend here, there is a satchel. Place the amulet in the satchel. Ride forward along the path until you come to a covered bridge. There on the bridge, you will find your payment. Throw the satchel with the amulet in it into the river."
I just start waving my arms in the air, trying to get Dell and Rig's attention, and try to motion them over
What?
while kind of walking towards the tree line,
All right, I come out.
holding up this note.
Let me see that.
She's not here.
Why
Sounds
is
like
she
the queen
here?
doesn't want to talk to us. She just wants what we bargained for.
What kind of way to do business is that? That ain't a good way to do business.
It's a secretive, shady way. Anything else, you wouldn't expect it from the Queen of Thieves.
All right, now, when I got into business with the Queen of Thieves, I didn't say nothing about working with no shady individuals.
Look, Riggs, I want the money more than you do, but I just
So
need
it's
to
a
get my
contest
payment.
now.
I need to get that payment. So a plan's a plan, and we agreed we'll get another chance.
Just can't believe I've been stood up like this again by the Queen of Thieves and never really get to talk to her much. I just want to tell her how valuable I am. I just wanted to know, Well, fine. Let's take the cart. Let's get our payment. I'm sure she'll hire us again sometime. I don't know. I'm a little angry at this whole exchange. Might have to tell the Queen what's up, She ain't so tough.
I'm sure she has plenty of time to hear you and your complaints out.
Yeah.
But after we get paid.
Fine. Let's get on the wagon. Let's go. I hop on to the man's lap that's sitting on there. I'm like, all right, sir, let's go. Oh, he's
Clamor in the back.
He's dead, isn't he? Well, guess I'm driving this thing. Are you on, Del?
Yeah, I'm jumping in.
Yes, cautiously. I kind of get in, kind of look around, and I kind of sit down in the wagon.
Before I start moving with the wagon, I look around me. Is there anything suspicious on this wagon?
It's empty. There's just the dead man.
All right.
I'm going to pull his satchel off and motion to Del to put it in the...
When we get to the bridge, I'll put it in.
The pathway continues through the forest to a creek where there's a covered bridge. In the middle of the bridge, there's a large, patterned bag.
I send Twizzler, my little homunculus, over to. Is he able to open the bag with his little hands? So he opens the bag and he's going to pick up whatever's inside and fly it back over.
Okay. Inside the bag, this bag is Sebastian's bag of holding.
Oh.
Oh,
with the money from the cathedral in it.
Guys, this is so much money. I'm going to keep this bag. This bag is look how much room is in this bag, guys. Oh man, I'm going to study this. I'm going to learn how to make one of these. Man, this is some fine.
Riggs, are you forgetting something?
Oh, the payment. Yeah. I open up the bag and I crawl inside. You can see my little feet sticking out and you see gold start flying out of the bag.
Yep. And it is
evenly.
30,000 gold worth of the gold bars, which of course the three of you do not know that this is Sebastian's bag of holding and the gold from the vaults, but it is.
Got greedy.
Does it have the royal seals on it or anything?
It does.
Yeah, this is royal gold. It must be worth even more than regular gold. You know what I'm saying? Still, I don't get to talk to the queen about my goals, my aspirations, my little dreams. Maybe next time.
Pass the satchel.
Yeah, all right. I toss it over.
So the satchel that came with the dead guy.
Yeah. I'll give you the dead satchel.
Oh, that satchel.
I put it in, and I take my a staff, my quarterstaff, and I fling it into the river.
Okay.
With the castellan's thing inside.
As you fling it into the river, at the other end of the covered bridge, steps out the Queen of Thieves. And she says, I am so disappointed in the three of you. I thought for sure you were going to ask for more money, or at least try to double-cross me. You could have done me a common courtesy.
Now listen, Queen, we would have double-crossed you, but you weren't here.
And crafty. But I expected far more from the three of you. Excellent work, by the way, recovering the amulet and offing the castellan, but I was really expecting some sort of wonderful double cross or grand scheme. I was all ready and excited to see what you were all going to pull off, but I guess it's my fault for thinking so highly of the three of you.
Now you listen here, thieves lady. All right? Do you have any idea who you're talking to?
Well, I thought the three of you were quite smart, but obviously you weren't smart enough to pull one over on me.
That's what you think. Little do you know, we have this whole bridge rigged with dynamite. What's dynamite? I don't know. Rigged with explosives, all right? And I'm the smartest man in the room. And as the smartest man in the room, I gotta tell you, 30 grand for the job we just did, not gonna cut it. I know you're a smart lady, so listen here. Jerry Riggs, I'm an expert. I can do anything. I can get anything.
I know you don't have this bridge rigged with explosives.
This is why I like you, Queen. You're clever.
She snaps her fingers, and the illusion of the covered bridge disappears, revealing it's just a plank bridge.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew this was coming. I was testing you. You passed. This is why you're smart enough to be on our crew. Listen, we're not going to go by Queen of Thieves anymore. From now on, I'm going to be the King of Thieves, and you guys are going to be my crew. I think that we split the money evenly between the four of us, and we just own Drakkenheim together. Think of all the things you could do, Mrs. Thieves, with all of our help. If we work together, we'll be an unstoppable crew. These two are in.
Well,
they've already told me.
You are an ambitious little goblin, aren't you? All right, Goblin King. Let's see what you're made of next time, then. And that's where we'll end for the night.
Try to really push that. Push that double cross there.
Is that the end of this episode? Or is that the end of this chapter?
We are at time. It seems a natural place to wrap things up, doesn't it?
Is that the end of Rooked, or is that
is
just
the end
beginning?
of Rooked? But I think we are going to have to flip over to the Falling Fire or something after this and see what the aftermath of all that was. 'Cause that was something else.
We might have created a bit of a problem there.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Flawless heist. Flawless.
Yes.
Flawless.
No
one even knew we were there.
Well done. Oh, that is Rooked, everybody. I think that's a very natural place to wrap things up for our little story with the Queen's Men. And certainly we will have more to come in this fun little series. I had a total blast. You guys did that
was hilarious.
pulled that heist off so well. I was like, what was going to happen towards the end there? like.
All right, but whose idea was it for the zip line? I don't know. That was genius.
It was great. It was what it
was good, Joe.
Exit. It was classic.
It's a classic zip line out of there.
Yeah,
so good.
You guys thought I was gonna.
I thought
that was beautiful.
You should have just left.
Yeah.
You should have just left at the end and let us
We're like,
die. You would have gotten all the money.
Yeah, you three of you have to split the reward, unfortunately. So
nuts.
So that does wrap it up. So we will not be playing next week. We're going to be taking the week off. So we'll have to find out which faction everyone wants to hear from next. That'll give me some time to plan and figure that out. We got the Hooded Lanterns, we got the Falling Fire, we got the Silver Order still to do, and we're gonna take it through all that. Of course, to everybody, please let us know on Twitter, on Facebook, or on Discord, or on YouTube, or anywhere where you can chat with us. Please let us know what faction you'd like to see us tackle next. We've got lots of ideas for all of these different ones, and we're definitely going to continue. I definitely think I might have to rethink what I'm doing with the Falling Fire so we can see the other side of that. Because
yeah, we need to see what
because
happened.
The aftermath there, I'm very interested to figure out what might have happened there. So, but we'll have to handle that another time.
That's great.
And of course, for everybody, as always, with the Untold Tales of Drakkenheim, we really do value your feedback. What we did decide to let everyone know a little bit going forward for the future of the show for Drakkenheim, we've discussed that that once we do all the factions of Untold Tales, we may go back to Shadows of Drakkenheim. By then, we think we will be at a point where we feel confident to either do this online if we still have to do it online, or who knows what the future holds for other things. So we will see that, but that'll give us the leeway that either enough things have changed in the state of the world that we can play together again, or we feel good enough about playing online together that we want to just get back to Shadows of Drakkenheim. So those of you that are wondering what the status of that is, we have been discussing that, but the whole truth of the matter is that between all of us, we're not going to take any risks with our health or anything like that, and make sure that all that is first and foremost. We have some people that are very close to us in our group that are on the front lines of this whole thing. And our thoughts are with them every single day, and we want to make sure that we are doing our part for the people that we know and love that are on the front lines of what is happening in the world today by staying home and doing it that way. So we won't be taking any risks ourselves. With that, beyond those thanks to those wonderful people in our lives that we know, who I haven't asked them for permission to give their names out, so I will not. But beyond my thanks to those wonderful people on the front lines of all this that are putting themselves out there and risking themselves, whether they are the front lines of our healthcare services or the front lines of our grocery stores and all of our other essential people that have to go out there every day, a massive thank you to all of those people. Furthermore, a massive thank you to Kelly, Jill, and Joe for playing tonight and running a wonderful game with some wonderful characters with me.
And I want to just say a huge thank you to our dungeon master, Monty Martin. As a huge fan of heists, this was a treat, and you ran it amazingly. It's so good. It was so fun. So special thank you to Monty Martin for running the game. And although he's not with us, thanks to Kyle for everything that he's always done for us. We can't wait to have him back in the mix here. We miss his thumbs up. I don't feel as encouraged, I don't get that thumbs up at the end.
I know, thumbs up thumbs up for
Kyle.
All at the same time. Thumbs up for Kyle.
You said all at the same time and then you put
yeah. That's the time delay.
I'll just leave them up.
Yep. And so so big thanks all around to everybody on our crew that contributes to all this good stuff. Of course, as well, a big, massive thank you to our generous Patreon supporters. Our videos and all the work that we do on this channel are made possible thanks to the generosity of our Patreon supporters. And if you do enjoy our work and do like what we're doing, please consider checking us out on Patreon. You can find that all at patreon.com/dungeon_dudes, or we got the links in the description below as well.
And don't forget that if you do join our Patreon, you also have access to our phenomenal Discord community, which is actually, I want to say a special thank you to those members in the Discord community who are checking in with people every day. I notice that there's a lot of conversation in there about just like dealing with isolation and social distancing. And it actually has become a really nice place to go in and just chat with a bunch of D&D nerds about really fun stuff. And it is kind of a way to be social and to interact with us and the rest of the people in this really uplifting community that we've created on our Discord server. So special thank you to everybody in that Discord. And if you are joining us on Patreon, just make sure to join us on Discord to chat with us about all the cool stuff that you want to talk to us about.
And as always, Kelly and I post new videos every Thursday on our YouTube channel where we cover everything Dungeons and Dragons, including advice for dungeon masters and guides for players. So as always, our video content is always free. The ship is not stopping on that. Our Patreons have helped us make sure that Kelly is equipped at his place and I'm equipped here so that we can keep making videos. We had to get a big super Dropbox account so that we could transfer all of the files across each other and get that all going. And that, again, that's all thanks to our patrons. So there will still be videos every Thursday from Kelly and I for free for everybody on YouTube at youtube.com/dungeondudes.
And be sure to join us live on Tuesday nights when we record the campaign live on Twitch. Check us out from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/dungeon_dudes. Also, remember, next week we are off, but the week after that we will be back with another Untold Tales of Drakkenheim. You can check out all of the previous episodes of the show on YouTube as well.
Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time in Drakkenheim.